Hello, hello. Invite someone, invite someone. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. Hello there, Sandy. How are you? Good evening. Where are you coming from, Sandy? What time is it where you are? What time is it where you are? I am so glad to see you on this evening. Hello, Denise. How are you? From Alabama. Ooh, I heard y'all got some tremendous weather. Tornadoes went through there, huh? I pray that you're okay. It probably did not hit your part of the town. Thank you so much for joining me, Denise and Sandy. We are getting ready to talk about brain fog, but I want to talk with it in an extensive way because brain fog can be quite devastating. Have you ever experienced that, Denise? She said, we're good. She said, you know me, talk before Cambridgeshire. All right, now, let's talk about brain fog. What do you know about brain fog? Sandy, Denise, what do you know about brain fog? And if you know something about it, how has it affected you? How has brain fog affected you? She said, yes, I do. I know about that. How has it affected you, Denise? Hey, Haka, how are you? Thank you for joining me. Haka, we're talking about brain fog. We're talking about the devastation of brain fog. We want to bring that forth, bring that out. A lot of people that have went through narcissist relationship, one of the things that they deal with during and after is brain fog. She said you can't think straight. Absolutely. It's caused tremendous confusion, devastation. You're absent-minded. But it, and Haka said, yeah. She said, please make me sure hit the like. That's right. Thank you so much. Hit the like button, you guys. Let's share this page. Let's get others. Let's invite some other people in on this. And let's talk about this brain fog because brain fog is devastating. And like she said, you can't even think straight. It impairs your thinking. Absolutely, Denise. It impairs your thinking. And if anything deal with your mind, take away your thoughts. It's going to deal with your energy. It's going to deal with your perception. It's going to deal with your planning, your strategy. It'll deal with you if you're in school, your education. It'll deal with you on your job, your sleep. Brain fog can touch every avenue of your life because you're dealing with your brain. It can even deal with you as a parent because what it does, it dries your energy. It deteriorates your energy because once you start forgetting things, then you start thinking something is wrong with you. So there is an inferiority complex that start to develop. So your ability for confidence start to wane. She said, saps motivation, all of it, Sandaloo, all of it. You're absolutely right. It saps your motivation where you don't have any strength. Hey, she said, I am a witness. Jamila, yeah, absolutely. It zaps everything. And just like Sandy was saying, you don't have the motivation to do anything. You don't have the strength to do anything because you think that you're losing it. And then it puts in fear. You start being afraid because you start thinking, I'm not keeping it together. Hello there, Lamitris. How are you? She said, thank you. Thank you for what you do. Sending my love from, is that Arizona? Or where is that from? God bless you. Thank you so much. Hey, Danielle. How are you, Danielle? I'm so glad to have you on board. So when we're dealing with brain fog, we know that we're dealing with absenteeism psychologically. She said, yes, Arizona. All right now. So, and when you're dealing with brain fog, tell me some ways that this brain fog affects you, especially with children. If you have children, how does it affect you? Because on your job, you'll find yourself dazing off. You'll find yourself, you're driving and you look up and you where you're going and you don't remember getting there. You just get there and then you think how dangerous that was because you're on the freeway and you end up in a place. I know there was times I was driving and I end up in a place and had no recollection of the drive to that place. Come on. Talk about the brain fog. Talk about how it affects you. Jamila said, I'm a witness. How did you witness the brain fog, Jamila? How did it affect you? How did it affect you? Hey, Deborah. Yep, she said, you just zone out. Absolutely. That's a good way to put it. You're there, but you're not there. People are talking to you. You don't remember nothing they said. And then they'll look at you and say, did you hear what I said? And you're saying, yeah, I heard you. But you really didn't. You didn't hear anything they said. Or you're cooking on the stove, and the next thing you know, you forgot what you're doing. Listen to this. She said, oh my God, yes, totally remember being on the freeway. She said a couple of times. She said, I have no idea how I exit. Absolutely. She said, I couldn't remember simple things. Yes, Jamila. Yeah. Hello there, Deborah. Hey, Shalonda, how are you? She said, he would tell stories from over the years that I could not remember at all. And you know what? When you're dealing with the narcissist, you have to watch them because they gaslight. Sometimes they tell you stuff that never existed. When they gaslight you, you're trying to remember when you did that. You're trying to remember when that was said to you or when you said that. Sometimes you didn't. But if you don't recall, they will gaslight you. She said, so happy you're here. Be sure to hit that like button. Absolutely. And subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Brain fog, being a psychological impairment, it start messing with your future. Oh, Shalonda. Oh, yes, ma'am. It start messing with your future. And what you find is you want consistency in the things. And that brain fog will hamper you from being consistent. You start a project and you stop it. And you never meant to stop it. But that brain fog impair your consistency. It compares you from being persistent. It bags you off of your goals. You start writing a book, you stop writing a book. You start sewing clothes, you stop making clothes. You start a project, you stop the project. She said, I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much for being here. And that's brain fog. Why does the narcissist have such impairment on the brain, such devastation on the brain? That's how much pressure you're under psychologically when you are with the narcissist. You want to move about, you want to register confidence, but the energy of the narcissist is destructive. Absolutely. Thank you, Hakka. Boy, she's bringing that in too. Helping you out, Danielle. See, the narcissist. And the narcissist, when you get a narcissist that has had several relationships, they know their effects on you. They have the pattern that they're going to take you through so you can eventually, once they start tearing down your confidence, what you do, you eventually lose that level of confidence. You no longer believe in yourself. You start believing the narcissist because the narcissist is going to exalt themselves above measure. And that brain fog descend like fog. You know how like fog begin to come down? That's the way that brain fog does. It starts to come down. And as it come down, you start to forget things. You're looking for your glasses, they're on your face. You're looking for your keys and they're in your hands. She said it was very hard to stay focused. Absolutely. It breaks focus. Brain fog is a focus breaker. You cannot remain focused with brain fog. It will not let you. And the thing about brain fog is once you start losing confidence in yourself, it's going to start affecting how you behave. And to the energy you give off, it's insecure energy. You're not as powerful as you were when the narcissist first got you. See, the narcissist, it was the strength of you that drew them. She said, I always have to have a reply and found myself searching. She said, I found myself searching for words to the point of stuttering. And you know why? Because he shattered your confidence. When your confidence is shattered like that, of course. She said, yep, you let it and it'll mess up. Oh, on your job, absolutely. Narcissists don't care anything about your job. He wants you working, but he needs you trained. And once you start to forget, what did you say? Could you repeat that? And he said, why didn't you do this? And you said, do what? You don't remember. So if you don't write things down, it's easy for you to not finish projects, finish assignments. You meant to pay the bill. You forgot to pay the bill because you're not thinking. She said, I remember looking for my phone and she said, and I was on it. Absolutely. That kind of stuff. She said, all true facts. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're touching your glasses, and while you're touching your glasses, you're fussing that you're looking for them. And they're right there on your face. Brain fog is like trying to place something on a cloud. It falls right through. She said, Dr. Sattler, how does brain fog relate to cognizant dissonance? Easy. She said, still need to write things down. Absolutely. See, that's the aftermath. That's the aftermath. She said, I didn't forget to leave. Oh, she said, I didn't forget to leave him though. And see, brain fog with cognizant dissonance. Cognizant dissonance is when you know something is going on, but you don't want to accept it. So you make excuses for it. You put things around it not to see it. You safeguard it. You excuse it. So when you go into cognizant dissonance, it's the truth already revealed, but you're not ready to accept it. So you explain it away, you excuse it away. And while you explain it away and excuse it away, devastation is still happening. Because until you acknowledge that something is wrong, it keeps getting deeper. You go deeper into the brain fog. And some people from the brain fog lose their mind. Because if you keep thinking you're forgetting things, if you keep thinking you're losing things, you're going to start to act like you think. So that means that you're going to start to conduct your life in a life of lack of memory, lack of understanding. You're going to start to conduct your life as if you're losing it. And once the narcissist find out that you are having brain fog, he's going to make you think you're crazy. She's going to make you think you're crazy. Did you see my book? No, I didn't see your book. How you not see my book? I saw you with it. You didn't have that book. Now you're being gaslighted mixed with brain fog. She said, sometimes it feels like your mind is going down the rabbit hole. That's exactly what it feels like. It feels like you're literally losing it. And you can be young. You can be 30 years old. Been with a narcissist for 4 years. But you feel like you're losing it. To the point you're afraid because you have children. You're afraid because you're cooking. You're afraid because you're driving. And some people have got in their car, got on the freeway, and forgot their way home. They had to literally pull over and get themselves together. She said they would even hide things so you'll feel crazy. That's gaslighting. Gaslighting and brain fog together is a combination. And you talking about devastating. Come on. She said, I almost thought I had signs of dementia. Absolutely. And believe it or not, when you're forgetting things like that, and you're young, and you're forgetting, and you're thinking, why I'm forgetting. The narcissists have a negative energy, a negative spirit. They're torturous. They torment your mind. They make sure you don't have the confidence. They make sure you don't have the assurance. They gaslight you. They devaluate you. All of that add up to the brain fog. And do you know, if they take and did an x-ray on you, your brain, and put a narcissist by you, they can see the effects of the brain waves. Your brain go ballistic from the negative energy of the narcissist. And the longer you stay, the more devastating your mind. And you got to remember, if you're devastated with the narcissist, what do you think is going to happen after you leave the narcissist? After you leave the narcissist, you have to recover. And sometimes you have to visit those places that devastated you so you can give language to it, so you can give recognition to it, so you can understand what happened, so you can move on. Because you can't move on without understanding what happened to me. She said, once you leave, you can see how many evil spirits the narc was carrying. Absolutely. The aftermath. And you really don't see it until you get out of it. You really don't see it until you leave it. And that's why one of the questions that most supply ask is, how did I stay so long? Why did I stay so long? Because after you leave, you got to go back to those painful places for healing. That's why you hear people say, I was triggered. I was triggered by that smell. It reminded me of them. I was triggered by what they said. It reminded me of them. A grunt, a smell, a place, a car, a touch. Somebody can hug you and it reminds you of the way they hugged you. And you get triggered. And sometimes when you get triggered, it not only triggered the act that happened, it triggered the brain fog. Why? Because all of the emotions of that moment stirs up within you. And as you stir up that brain fog, it reminds you of what you came out of. So let me tell you, the aftermath is a lot of work because you're out of it. See, when you in it, it keeps happening over and over and over again, and it doesn't stop. And they call that CPTSD. That right now situation that is occurring right now, torture is occurring. And PTSD a long time ago, years ago, was only given to soldiers. Now you got people having PTSD as if they've been on a local war ground or a war ground, period. She said, what she says here, she said, the hardest part of the process is when you're in it. Yeah, absolutely. She, especially when the narc abuse began at birth, brain fog, and as an adult, in the beginning process of healing is difficult. It's very difficult. And the reason it's difficult for you, Danielle, is because it's a lifelong episode. It is your training ground. It is what you knew. So now when you get out away from the narcissist, you familiarize yourself to something different where your brain is not used to that difference. So sometimes your brain will actually fight the difference, and the difference is good for you, but your brain will fight it because your brain will say, this is unfamiliar. I don't know this. It may be good for me, but I don't know this. I'm afraid of this. And you begin to be afraid of the healthy things that can help you because it's not what you was trained to have. She's a complicated post-traumatic stress disorder. Absolutely. Absolutely. And see, that's when stuff is happening right now. That's when stuff is still going. PTSD will trigger you with something you done been through, a traumatic act. But CPSD is something that is going on right now. She said, it is true. My mom passed away, my sister, and she said, and had the narc. her pastor to do the funeral. I am so hurt. Oh my God. Foreign object. Yeah, foreign objects are healthy objects. So you got to retrain your mind to go to healthy things because you're not used to it. She's afraid of the healthy things, describes it perfectly. Absolutely. That's why if you notice, once you come out of a relationship with a narcissist, you can get someone that really care for you. You will torture them. It's unfamiliar ground. It's healthy ground, but it's unfamiliar ground. And that brain fog will even cause a elapse where you're not putting it together. You don't need what you left. You don't need what hurt you. You don't need what is familiar to you. You need to start over. You said starting over is painful. Of course it is. It's going to take you to the highest pressure point because I'm taking you to trigger places. I'm taking you to familiar places. I'm getting you to identify and put language to the place that hurt you, that tortured you, the places where you was traumatized, almost killed you, but you got language, you got verbiage to it. And once you get verbiage to it, okay, we can talk about it. We can get it out of you rather than to keep it in you. Brain fog comes from what is in you, not just what's around you. It's what went inside of you. And it's messing with your memory. And you need your memory in order to exist. You need your memory in order to excel. You need your memory in order to recover. And so the more tremendous the brain fog, the more delayed the healing. We got to provoke your memory. And usually when you're coming out of a narcissist relationship and we're provoking your memory, we're stimulating all the wrong grounds. Until we rebuild, we dig that up and we rebuild you. We take you back to your highest level, back to your highest point. We take you back to your strong point. We take you back to your beautification. We take you back to your dreams, back to your goals. We take you to all that. But brain fog is the quarterback that wants to hinder all that. But you got to add language to it. What happened to me? Because you are just like a person that has been bombed. A grenade was thrown in your mind, thrown in your life, and devastation, hurt, pain has hit. And you got to recuperate from all of that. It's like a mental genocide. And sometimes, some of you didn't even know what you went through with the narcissist until you left. She said, I feel bombed. Perfectly said, Helen. You know what? Absolutely. It's just like a bomb, Erin. It's just like a bomb. She said, yes. Thank you for this confirmation. Absolutely. It's like somebody threw a grenade inside of your head and everything exploded and it's everywhere. She said, this is healing. Right. Not until I left. Yeah. If you think it was devastating being with the narcissist, living with the narcissist, having the narcissist in your life, wait till your healing comes. Because when you go to healing, that's painful too. But you got to stay in there with it. She said, I learned in order to heal, I have to stay away from people. 100% family too. You do whatever necessitate your healing. You do whatever necessitate your healing. Sometimes you have to stay away from people. Why? I need to think about where I am. I need to get myself together. I need to see what it is that I actually been through. Because you done been through a war zone. Through a relationship. And it was like being at a war zone. It was crazy. It was devastating. And it was ruining your life. And the thing is, some of you actually married the narcissist, had children by the narcissist, and you thought having a child, they would care. There are several children and they still don't care. They're still selfish. They're still devastating. They're still traumatizing, agonizing, frustrating. And that brain fog increases until you deal with it. And you don't want permanent damage. So you have to deal with it. If you're not remembering what you need to remember and you notice this is happening on a regular basis, get you a doctor's appointment. Get you a doctor's appointment. Get you a therapist. Get you a counselor. Don't try to do this alone. Do not try to do this alone. Because when you're left with yourself and brain fog, soon it does feel like dementia. Because it's constant. It's deeper. Now you're forgetting to pay bills. You're forgetting to pay rent. You told mom you're going to call and they think something is wrong. And the narcissist wants you to feel like you're crazy. She said, I'm staying away from the narc family members as well. Absolutely. Especially their family. Especially the narcissist family. Because the narcissist family is going to be with the narcissist. They are going to cover him. They are going to cover her and make you feel like you're crazy. Isn't that something? Brain fog. She said, no one believed I was abused, not even family. Deborah, don't be surprised. Do you know how many people have said that? You know how many people have told their family what they're going through and they believe nobody can do you like that. She said, it took the narc for me to see who all was abusing me. Everybody he's attached to, everybody she's attached to. Because the narcissist get flying monkeys. And if he get a family, they'll gang up on you. They'll make you feel like something's wrong. They're all telling you, why did you do that? Why did you say that? It's all about you being blamed. And it's all about them being praised. And if you don't watch it, you will start blaming you. And you will start praising you. Cognizant dissonance will make that happen. She said, absolutely. And even though you see them, cognizant dissonance will have you to ignore the truth, looking right at you. Your eyes looking right at it. You see them. It's not a confusion. You understand what you're dealing with and you still deal because you're so committed to them because you love them like they can never love you. So you're committed to them like they will never be loyal to you. And that loyalty is compromised when they're serial cheaters. Based on the type narcissist, if they're malignant, they're dangerous. Psychopath, sociopath, dangerous narcissist. Coverts, they're sneaky. Sneaky narcissists. Charming narcissists. Somatic narcissists. Totally on everything around them. They are totally materialistic. Totally materialistic. Altruistic narcissists. They need sickness. These are the narcissists that look for women with children, or they look for women with a disease, a man with a disease. So because they got the heroism, they need to be heroes. Can you imagine loving a person and all of their energy is to make sure you are at the bottom of life? Everything they do is to make sure you are totally destroyed. They live for it. She said, yes. Tracy says, same here, Haka. Come on. Brain fog is devastating, y'all. Never take that for granted. If you're having brain fog, you need to get some medical attention because it will increase. And brain fog turns to dementia. And it doesn't matter your age. She said, what kind of therapy is there to help recover from brain fog? There is a lot of different therapists. The psychiatrist, there is a host of different kind of therapies based on where you are, based on the devastation, and then based on the level of devastation. But that's when the psychiatrists come in. That's when the therapists come in. So if you go to Psychology Today, look for a narcissist specialist, because they're therapists don't mean that they can cater to you. She said they want you loyal to them against yourself. Absolutely. She said off topic, but love your, oh, thank you so much, La Matrix. And so what happens is when you go to a psychiatrist, the psychiatrist will do an intake, the counselor, the therapist will do an intake. Based on where you are, they will recommend the treatment. And sometimes they may even add medication because your nervous system is wrecked. That's why you're so jumpy. You can't eat right. It's affecting your sleep. Certain foods that you love, your body can't even handle it anymore. And some of you are consistently losing weight and you're not trying to lose weight. Some of you can't eat certain things because of the stress level. And it has caused this brain fog. Until you used to be powerful and innovative and very, very, very aggressive and ambition in the things you want. You lost all that. She said, yeah, psychologytoday.com. There you go. She said, my family act like he's their God. And they will learn. Oh, they will. Deborah, they're his flying monkeys. So don't release anything to your family. Don't tell them anything that you're dealing with. Don't tell them anything that you're dealing with. And more than likely, that covert narcissist, they're the master. They're the master of adoration. People adore them. Shalonda said, I remember that's how I used to be. Now I live in total peace. She said, but I do have to use practices like writing things down or setting my alarm. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the aftermath. That's the aftermath, the devastation of being with a narcissist. But by the time you really understand what's happening, the damages have already occurred. So just leaving the narcissist does not get rid of the brain fog. It gets better because you done got out of that environment and you done got away from that narcissist. But everything don't leave at once. Some things actually take time. Some things actually take time. And that brain fog, to get your mind back to the way it was, when you get out of the environment, you are not in the pressure point. So the stress upon the brain start to dissipate. But then you got memory. You got your cognizant realm. You were very aware something was wrong. Then your subconscious bring back those triggers. You see why you have to work through it? You see why you have to work through brain fog? You see why you cannot play with brain fog? Once you recognize that something is absent, something is missing, you're too young for this, and you're having a lot of memory lapse, your energy is drained, your goals, you don't even have the power to stick with it. Brain fog. And then you're like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I get anything done? Brain fog. Brain fog is just not forgetfulness. It is an intrusion on your life, your total life, your happy life, your energetic life, your successful life. Brain fog intervenes in all of that. She said, I was married to him for 27 years. Oh, girl. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. See, you have to really deal. She said, brain fog is real. Narcissist abuse. Hey there, Karen. Absolutely. Absolutely. Brain fog is as real as your breath and your heartbeat. brain fog. And it will stop you from progressing. It will stop you from going forward. Because when you begin to dispel the energy, when you begin to release the energy to go forward, you'll find your energy just zap. Or you'll start it and won't finish it. Brain fog. Brain fog is attached to your energy. It's attached to your confidence. It's attached to your success. So when you get brain fog, look at all the things that affect it. Absolute. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you. So that's why I don't want you to play with that. Don't trust a friend that he likes. If he likes them, don't trust them. It's the ones he don't like, because he can't get away with it. They see him. Narcissists don't like friends that see him. They don't like family that see them. And they can see the damage that is done to you. She said the time factor is important to remember. It's like a seed. She said like a seed. She said, then time, then harvest. This information is seed. Therapy and proper application is in time. Healing is the harvest. Absolutely. Essential oils can help recover one day at a time. It's a frustrating process. Absolutely. And what the oil does is relax you. It goes to your brain to relax your brain, to open up the neuronats of your brain. And when they open up those neuronats, you can ingest the peace and the euphoria that you can, so you can move past those stress points, past those hard points, past those difficult points. And one of your greatest challenges is going to be memory. One of your greatest challenge is going to be memory. Because your memory seems like it's assaulting you. She said, love to isolate. Yeah, isolation is good sometimes. Sometimes it's just good to get out, go to the mall, take yourself out to dinner, to release another atmosphere. She said, I wish I could stay longer. I have to be up early for work. Thank you so much, Lematrice. Thank you for joining us. Love you, girl. Love you, girl. We have an hour, so we got about 21 minutes. Do you have any questions for me? She says, the peace for me, I reclaim. She said, my memory call. Absolutely. Absolutely. Brain fog is no playing matter. It is not. She said, how often do you go live? Right now, I'm going live on Monday nights and on Wednesday nights. Monday nights and Wednesday night. I don't have a certain time because of my schedule. I haven't regulated yet, but I want you to make sure, Lematrice, subscribe to my channel, and every time I come on, you will get a notification. So make sure you subscribe and like and share this page for me, baby girl. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, brain fog is no joke, especially when you're young. And you remember how sharp your mind used to be. You start remembering that. You read something and you keep reading it over and over, because the moment you leave it, you forgot it. And you used to have a photographic memory that you could recall numbers, recall sentences. Now those things are very difficult, because brain fog is the impairment of the mind. It impairs your thinking. And it works against your memory. Brain fog love to attack the memory. And you need your memory, like she said, to recall things that you need to do, to make sure you do them. Your whole person is infected by brain fog, not just affected, infected. Because once the stress hit your body begin to react. She said, I start She said, I start feeding myself book after to come out of the fog. Lots of prayer as well. Exactly. One good thing for brain fog is reading out loud. If you can read out loud, even reading, because it's a different kind of muscle that work when you read, but when you read out loud, your ears hear what is going into your brain, and your brain matriculate difference when when your ears hear that. And sometimes go in the mirror. When you're in the house by yourself, talk to yourself. Tell yourself who you are. Tell yourself that you're going to make it. Tell yourself that I'm not going to let this destroy me. I'm not going to let this bring me down. Tell yourself. Make your brain aware. Start getting memory citation, memory scriptures, memory announcement, positive affirmation, and say it, say it, say it, and keep saying it, and don't stop saying it. Don't you stop. Brain fog is real, but so are you. You're just as real as the brain fog. And you can do this. But the narcissist, they will destroy everything. They will destroy every little thing. Danielle is doing something here. Absolutely. Make sure you like and share this page. Make sure you subscribe. Remember, if you got brain fog, you'll forget to subscribe. So make sure you write it down. She said, I'm definitely subscribed. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. She said, I do. Thank you, Shalonda. Thank you. So let's go back and recap. Let's look at some things. Are you having difficulty being consistent? Yes. Are you having difficulty recalling things? Yes. Are you dealing with headaches? Yes. Does those headaches cause blurred vision? Yes. Do you notice you're having an energy drain? Yes. Are you having a problem identifying your strength and recognizing who you are? She said, when I was with him, I just thought I was bad with names. You're not bad with names. That's brain fog. That's brain fog. That's brain fog. You just didn't identify it. You thought that you just had a bad day or had a hard day. Or I'll get it. No, baby, that's brain fog. That is the beginning of deterioration of the brain, of the mind, of the memory. That's the beginning of deterioration. On a natural note, when you are having brain fog, watch your sugar intake. Watch your fat intake. Eat healthy, because you need something to cater to the mind, because the mind now has been assaulted. The narcissists have used their words as an arsenal against your mind, against your memory. They love you, then they take the love away. They praise you, then they devalue you. They come home, then they go out cheating. And you know they're cheating. You find the hair, you find the smell, you saw a kiss, and you took a picture of it, and they still lie and deny. That wasn't me. I was just standing there. Next thing I knew, they grabbed me, and his arms around her too. Gaslighting. Brain fog has to be dealt with. And when your children go through households of just overbearing stress, even the children deal with brain fog. And if they're dealing with brain fog, no wonder they're having problems in school. They're having recall issues, trigger issues. The teacher can drop something on the floor. The child almost jump out of their seat. Next thing you know, it's brain fog. Boom. Because the brain fog sometimes is a protective mechanism. You hide behind the fog so you won't have to deal with the behavior. So you blank out. You daze out. You act as if Nothing happened. Brain fog. She said, I will forget how to spell words that I know for over 40 years. She said, and would have no idea to do something. She said, but would forget before I could stand up. You know what? Absolutely, Karen. Absolutely. If you notice, you would think of a word as small as were. And for the life of you, you're trying to spell it. Brain fog. Brain fog. Brain fog means that you are under too much stress, so much stress, till the brain is giving way in the realm of memory. In the realm of memory. Come on, y'all. We got 15 minutes. Let's make these 15 minutes count. How many of you right now are dealing with brain fog, whether it's in it or it's the aftermath of it? How many of you are dealing with it? Let me see you. Let me hear you. Let me hear you. Let's take processes of recovery, processes of healing. Because brain fog can be healed. It's not a permanent damage. We just need to get you out of that environment. And then guess what we got to go? We got to go back into, Danielle said, me. We got to go back into the mind. And when we go back into the mind, we carry the mind in places that it hid from, in places that it ran from, in places it hides from, in places it denies. We want to take your mind to an update, then an upgrade. Then we give stability to the mind. Where you, whatever victory you have, you stay that course. You stay that course. You don't come off. And then what you're going to find is, the aftermath. Absolutely. And what you're going to find, you're going to start rediscovering yourself. You're going to start discovering projects. You're going to start doing projects. You're going to be able to stay with something, because brain fog interrupt your stability, your steadiness. The reason you can't be steady with it is brain fog. The reason you can't continue with it, brain fog. The reason it seemed difficult, brain fog. That brain fog has interrupted you. You used to be organized. She said, I'm dealing with the aftermath. Absolutely. Absolutely. And let me tell you what attaches to brain fog. Depression. You have to watch depression, because you're not dealing, she said, dealing with the aftermath of the aftermath. Right. And see, what happens is when you recognize that brain fog is there and it seems like you're losing it, you get depressed. And when you get depressed, you start to lose your energy. And when you start to lose your energy, you stop accomplishing things that you need to accomplish. Then when you stop accomplishing things, you feel like a failure. Then when you feel like a failure, your energy drained. Then when your energy drained, the cycle starts all over again. And then after a while, you can hide it from people. And then guess what? They start to see you. They start to say something is wrong. Susie acts different. Something wrong with Susie. She seems slower. Is she sick? Is she all right? Brain fog. Until people think something is wrong. You don't want to be around people. You don't want to talk to people. And like Jamila said, you isolate, which could be very dangerous to leave you to your thoughts when you done had interruption of thoughts. She said, slipping at work, need to re-energize and refocus. Absolutely. You don't let nothing stop your mind. Your mind is the process of your success. And you are as successful as the operation of your mind. You can go as far as the operation of your mind. You can be as powerful as the operation of your mind, or you can be as weak as the operation of your mind, as fearful. Your brain is too powerful for you to allow an interjection and an interception that can be overthrown. You're going to have to overthrow the fog. The environment, make sure the environment is conducive to change. And then once the environment is conducive to change, you implement that change. If you have to write it down 100 times a day, I am changing, I can think. I am changing, I can think. Get numbers. Play games with memory. She said, I overthrow the fog. Absolutely. Get games that would cause you to use your mind. But you got to, the games have to get in, use your memory. You need your memory. You need recall. You need your recall to fortify. You need your recall to strengthen. You need your recall to master, because strong recall overthrow fog. Fog can't do nothing with a strong recall. She said, thank you, Dr. Sadler. I never really looked at the after effects until tonight. Absolutely. The aftermath is what's devastating, because once you out of it and you away from it, it comes the rush of fog. Everything that was hindered start to come. All of the brain fog start to manifest afterwards. Not just doing afterwards. But afterwards, when you catch it, because you're giving language to it, you're identifying it. And that's why I said any healing is going to cause triggers. Don't run from the trigger. Stay in the pressure of the trigger. Identify it and change it. Then you'll notice your memories start coming. It's almost like this weight lift off your mind. It's almost like this flood of light start coming through your mind. And all of a sudden you start to remember stuff. You start to recall stuff because you are in a different environment. She said, surprised me after a year of no contact, brain fog intensified because you're being healed. If you have a wound and you cut yourself real deep and you go to the hospital, guess what the doctor is going to do? He's going to touch that cut. He's going to clean that cut. It's going to be painful to that cut. Why? Because he got to sew it up. But he can deaden it. Identification help you deaden the pain, because the law of recognition go into what's going on when you have brain fog. She said almost a tipping point. Absolutely. Cluster B said, at the 2-year mark after no contact, the brain fog was obvious. See, that's the same thing Danielle was saying. After a year. Brain fog, remember, it's almost like you're rolling out. You had it bottled up in a door. You was experiencing it with the narcissist, but it was in this closet. But when you leave the narcissist, the closet door open. Everything in the closet is going to come out. The brain fog going to come out. Just because you leave, the brain fog don't leave. No, it was shut up because you was continuing getting it over and over again because you was still with them. So by the time you thought you would get over your brain fog, they come out and do something else crazy. The fight, flight, or freeze mode stayed in place. Cortisol stayed in place. Pressure stayed in place. Adrenaline stayed in place. Hormonal level off balance stayed in place. Your whole body freaked out. Just freaked out. Brain fog said, I'm the result of all this. I am the baby of all this. I was born from your pressure. I was born from your abuse. She said, and the narcs feel the energy. Yeah, the energy that you don't have anymore. They need that to torture you. And every time you get it, they need to absorb it. They suck all the good. They suck off all the energy. Come on, y'all. I got 3 minutes. What can we do in 3 minutes? This brain fog is terrible. Don't stand in your life. The longer you keep it, the more damage it can do. The longer you keep it, the more permanent it can become. But God is greater than any situation, circumstance. You have to get away from that brain fog. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge it. And then start re-gearing your mind, train your mind. Get powerful books that's going to challenge you. Christians, read your Bible, pray. Get into a place of solitude. Aaron said, anytime I have to see him or the co-parent is brain fog. She said, have full custody by the power of prayer. She said, and I've had a year's break. Now he's moving to the town. She said, and the town I'm in, and I would need to really protect my energy and your mind. And your mind. Aaron, you will need to protect your mind because your memory is going to wake up to the abuse. Your memory is going to recall when his voice, his presence, remember those triggers? They're going to trigger you. And when they trigger you, it's going to do a recall. And when you do a recall, it's going to recall why y'all not together, why you really don't want to be with him, why you just have to put up with him. And those triggers have to be identified, but you have to cater to your brain fog. How you cater to your brain fog? By strengthening my mind to tell brain fog, you're not wanted here, you will not live here, and I will not let you resident here. All right, y'all, my time is up. I got 1 minute, guys, and then we're off. She said, I have a coworker who told me I needed to give her identity back, as if I am her and she's me. She's serious. She has a mental problem. She has a mental problem, and I would definitely be on full alert with that one. Wow, I just see, she said, I'm just now seeing how you are on and how you are doing, Apostle. Jesus, girl, Betty, go back and listen to the replay. It's always good to see you. She said, get court approved, our family wizard, so we can talk to you. Email or text about the children only. Okay, Karen, could you rewrite that? Rewrite that, Karen. Brain fog. I wanted to really talk about this because I wanted you to know all the attachments that are connected to brain fog. And now I see many of you are dealing with that. And you're dealing strong with that. Brain fog can be relieved. There is a remedy for brain fog. You don't have to stay there. You don't have to stay there with it. She said, I definitely will. Have a great night. You too, Jesus girl Betty. Hey guys, we won't settle for brain fog. It happened. Let's deal with it. You're triggered. Let's deal with it. Let's give language to what we've been through. Once you can identify it, you can remedy it. You can get strategy for it. Your mind can be more powerful than it has ever been. You don't have to keep brain fog. All right, I want to thank you so much for joining me on tonight. And remember, I'll be back here Wednesday night. And then after that, 2 weeks after that, I'll be back. And I will come on sporadically. So make sure that you have subscribed to this channel. Because every time I get a break in my schedule, I want to come and talk to you. She's our family wizard 7, so he cannot talk to you. Do not have to hear his voice, text, or email only about the kids. Oh, okay. She's talking that when the Aaron, I think that was Aaron. She's talking to Aaron. So Aaron don't have to give way to that anymore. Good, Karen. But you can also go to Cluster B Free Karen on YouTube. You can access her information, like you can access mine, Helen Sattler, your Destiny Helper. You can access that information. I want you to write me, Destiny Helper 12s at gmail.com. Destiny Helper 12s. Love you too, Shalonda. Destiny Helper 12s. Helen's, yeah, Destiny Helper 12s at gmail.com. I am a life coach, and I will be glad to spend some time with you, and I can tell you how we can make that happen. If you write me, Destiny Helper 12s at gmail.com. And if you're available, make sure you come tomorrow at 7:45 Pacific Standard Time. So if you are East Coast, I think you're 3 hours ahead of me, so that'll be 10:45 your time. And if you're Central, you're 1 hour ahead of me. And if you're UK, you're 9 hours ahead of me. So find out what time in comparison to the Pacific Standard Time. 7:45 Pacific Standard Time on tomorrow morning on Clubhouse. On Clubhouse, we can hear your story, hear your voice, and it's going to be awesome. I want you to join me. I'm Helen Sattler, your Destiny Helper. I'll see you Wednesday. God bless you.